Morning guys, I figured I'd help you out with solving quadratics today, and we'll start you off with on this beautiful snowy morning with a lovely Christmas tree. So we're going to be working on solving quadratics by factoring. So the first thing you need to know is the zero product property. It says a product of factors is zero if and only if one or more of the factors is zero. So product meaning multiplication, and factors are two things that multiply to equal your final result. And so either one can be set equal to 0 in order for your final answer to be equal to 0. So A can be 0 or B can be 0, and the other one can be a number. It doesn't matter. As long as one of your factors are 0, then your total factor is 0. Sorry, excuse the dog if you hear some squeaking noises. So your quadratic must be set equal to 0 before factoring and solving. That's step 1. Step 2 is to factor, and you can use any method that you would like to factor. Step 3 is to set each factor equal to 0 and then solve. As far as your examples go, the first one is x squared minus x equals 12. Now remember, we said step 1 is that you must set it equal to 0. So x squared minus x minus 12 equals 0. So I subtracted 12 from both sides. Then we factor. Now each factor gets set equal to 0. So x minus 4 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. Once you solve that, you add 4 to each side for the first one, and x equals 4. For the second factor, you would subtract 3 from each side, x equals negative 3. For the following one, it's already set equal to 0, so I'm going to use the bottoms up approach. So I multiply 2 times negative 3 to get negative 6. X squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Then don't forget that after you factor, you have to make sure that you divide your final constant term by your initial a value. So when you simplify, you get x minus 3, and on the second one, 1/2 can't be simplified, so that's when you use the bottoms up, and the 2 comes up front, and 2x plus 1 equals 0. Again, each factor is set equal to 0, so x minus 3 equals 0, and 2x plus 1 equals 0. When you add 3 to each side, you get that x equals 3. On the other one, you would subtract 1, so get 2x equals negative 1, and divide by 2 to get x equals negative 1/2. And those are your final answers. As far as questions, feel free to comment on the video below or email me if you have any other questions. Good luck today.